I'm sorry, guys. My mic was off. Hello, then. Thank you, everyone, for coming back to our show. I want to be able to introduce our guest tonight, Mr. Kelvin Saint Pham. Kevin has been a mentor to me, but mainly he's also been my brother, and he's taught me many things, and he showed me the inside of the industry. And he gave me the golden ticket to the Willy Wonka factory. So thank you, Kevin, so much for that, for giving me that golden ticket. I love you, brother. Kevin has been in the nail industry, believe it or not, 25 years. He's been worked as a manicurist. He's a salon owner. He's an educator, and also he's a consultant. He's currently working with American International Industries as their key account manager, and he supports the Vietnamese distributors and with sales and education. He's always been like a very personal person. He's always hands-on. He touches bases with everybody he meets, and to me, he's known as the legend. He's the legend in my eyes, and I'm pretty sure he's a legend in many people's eyes. Kevin is very deep-rooted, and he knows a lot about the nail industry and how it evolved. And his mission is his goal. I think everywhere I go, people always say, Tan, you're just like another Kelvin. You're just like another Kelvin. And at first, I'm like another Kelvin, but then I realized that, hey, we have the same common goal, and our goal has always been trying to elevate the Vietnamese nails industries and the nail professionals as well. So when I talk to people and my passion comes out about elevating the industry and advancing the state of the industry, it seems like Kelvin is coming out to them. I'm like the younger version. Everywhere I go, people say, Tan, you're like the younger version of Kelvin. So with let's just bring Kelvin on and have him share how a little bit about himself. So, and Kelvin, if you're on, let's see if we can connect Kelvin. And Kelvin, are you there, brother?
Yes, sir. What's going on, folks?
I am Kelvin.
Hey, and Kelvin, thank you for joining us and carving us time. And Kelvin, would you let us know where you're at so the world will be shocked where you're at?
First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for having me on Viet Nail Talk Radio. And I'll just give you guys just a little hint and see if you guys are able to know where I'm at right now. Okay? So if for those that you don't know, exactly, right? How about this right here, Rob? Look at this. I got this right here too, okay? So anyway, I'm here in Vietnam right now in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, which I still use actually. It's very exciting to be here. It's in the daytime, of course, around 9:30 right now, which is different when where you guys at in the States, correct?
Yes. It's actually a 12-hour difference.
12 hours, yeah.
Awesome.
So, okay, Kelvin, before we get into the industry, the topic, what is your thought about being male nail technician? Before you get into the industry, what did you think, and what about now?
You mean just being a male nail technician? Well,
yes.
I know that when I started my career in the nail profession, I believe there was an article that I was in from a nails magazine, and at that time they said, I think they estimated it was like about less than 5% of men being in the industry. Obviously now it has changed, of course, and I just love the fact that there's more guys getting into the industry, because we have a lot of badass nail artists out there, so I'm happy about that.
How did you get into the industry?
How did I get into the industry? I got into the industry pretty much like most Vietnamese, out of necessity in a sense. Back in 1990, I was working as a technical engineer at McDonnell Douglas, and there was a massive layoff at that time, and I found out that I had a child on the way, and so being a responsible person, you had to to look for something to do. So at the time, my mother-in-law, who's a wonderful woman, gave me the suggestion of go and get my nail license. And you can just imagine what that conversation was like. It's like, yeah, Mom, no, I don't think so. I'm not gonna be sitting there doing any nails or any feet on any woman. That's not really being a man. However, again, being responsible, having a baby on the way, I took the advice and I went to nail school, and I never looked back. And every time I see her, I always I always like tease her, and and thank her for recommending that I get into the industry.
Bro, I remember, and Kelvin, I remember you told Doc that, hey, if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for you, brother. Okay, so yes. So yeah, definitely, if it's good enough for Jesus to get his speech, well, I'm in the game. So yeah, the difference, building a clientele. Over the years, you build relationships with different, you have long-term relationships. So share a little bit. I know we touched base on the difference between a customer and a client, correct? So I would like to share my perspective on the difference between a customer and a client. So the customer is someone, in my opinion, that comes in, service has been rendered, and they pay for that service, and they leave. I, on the other hand, I like to build clients. Clients are a person who follows your service. They're following. And so I look for clients. I don't look for customers. So being in the industry 25 years, I know that you shared with me before that you have clients that have been your clients 25 years. How do you build that relationship?
Yeah, it's called through time. Okay, through time and persistent, and doing the best quality work that you can do. Okay, for those of you that know me, I'm not really a nail artist. I never claimed to be. But I can honestly say to myself, I'm one of the best nail technician when you're talking about like the basic of what we do in a salon. But in regards to like building the relationship, I believe it started off when I started working at my mother-in-law's salon. She has a salon with about maybe 15 to 20 nail techs. And I noticed there was basically two different type of nail techs. One was waiting for the customers to come in, okay, as what we know as a walk-in, okay. Then you have the other nail technician that wait, for their appointments. They had appointments. So I chose to I want to take the route of building a clientele instead of just waiting around for your turn, because what happens is if anybody that's been in that type of environment, there's been always disagreement, there's been fights over who's next in line and so forth. So I just decided to bypass all of that and just decided to build a strong, loyal clientele. So I agree with you about the customer and the clients.
Okay. Jade, nếu mà theo như em nghĩ sao theo cái vụ mà nếu mà mình có một người khách hàng hay là mình có một người giống như là chỉ vào chỉ trả tiền thì theo em nghĩ cái feeling của em hay là cái your idea and building that client, sao tại anh cũng biết là khi em làm em cũng làm riêng luôn, em cũng làm một cái studio. Just real quick em share cái đó với anh Kelvin, với our viewers as well to see how they feel about it.
Em thì thực sự đây là lần đầu tiên em nghe tới cái sự khác biệt giữa client với customer. Thường thì em gọi client của em là khách hàng, em có khách vậy thôi. Chứ mà còn cái sự khác biệt đó thì hôm nay em vừa mới học từ anh Kelvin với lại anh Tân mà thôi.
Okay, so real quick, and Kelvin, so what inspired you to become a nail pro? You shared that you also you were working and you had a child. I understand. So being in the industry, what has now kept that passion for you? What inspired you to become a nail pro and also then move towards being an educator?
Again, we were talking about clients. I believe that for me, at least for me personally, it's the relationship that I have with my clients. After 25 years, you cannot help but to build this relationship where you become friends. And it goes beyond just doing nails for them now. It's actually becomes like a friendship where you get together and you share your lives experience, and at the same time nail become like a bonus service that you do for them. So it's that's what one of the reasons that keeps me going. The other reason is that after several years of being in the industry, I started going to the nail show. And I remember when I started going, and there was really hardly any Vietnamese going at the time. And I went up to this company called IBD, and I was discussing with them about, like, you know, I noticed there was educators there, and I asked them, was there any Vietnamese educators? And of course, there was none. And from there, I decided, you know, I wanted to become an educator, so I became an educator for IBD. And again, once again, I never looked back. Ever since then, I just been, you know, really involved in education.
Wow, amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the key. The education has always been the key. And like I said before, our goal here is Vietnam Talk Radio is to help with education and let everyone, that our viewers know, and the community as well, know that, hey, there's classes here, there's classes in Houston, there's classes in California. So we want to be able to share that with everyone, and also bridge the gap and be able to elevate our community as a whole.
Right. Anh Kelvin, tuần vừa rồi thì anh Kelvin cũng có nghe tới cái cuộc phỏng vấn với lại chị Adele. Thì chị Adele có một cái documentary, cái phim tài liệu nói về nail doctor, the Vietnamese nail industry. Thì Adele có nói tới tên anh ở trong đó, thì cái vai trò của anh là vai trò gì? Anh có thể nói cho quý vị khán giả nghe một chút được không?
Yeah. I'm actually with Adele. Adele is the director who is working on, actually me and her is working on the nail doctor documentary, and I'm the co-producer of the film.
I see.
So
Right, and then go ahead.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, go ahead, Tam.
It's fine, brother. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So yeah, when I was talking in the interview last week with Adele, and she mentioned your name, she's like, Kelvin was in there, and Kelvin was the one who introduced me to Charlie Pham, Charlie Vo, and Mike Vo, and you know, with Sation and stuff. So what inspired this idea that came along for the Nail 8 doc?
Right. Again, for those of you that know me, you know that I love documentaries. Okay, I just love all different types of documentaries, because I really believe that you can learn not only the history, but there's so many valuable information. So the idea of having a documentary about the history of the Vietnamese nail industry in the United States has always been on my mind. And you know how it is, where you put it out into the universe, something that you want to do, and 10 years later it comes to you, and that's what happens with Adele Pham. We met, and I found out that she was interested in doing a documentary, and again, through networking, we were able to meet, and that's, you looking back now, we've been working on this documentary for about 5 years now.
Wow, and share a little bit, just real quick, about the history of how the nail evolved for the Vietnamese community. I know you interviewed some of the first 20, and we've talked about that, and now the new generations coming, the millennium, the second generation. But we want to let everyone know the purpose of the documentary is to show how the Vietnamese people evolved into the nail industry, and then the history behind it. Thì anh xem một chút xíu, just a little bit, so our viewers can get an update on how we as a community evolved into the nail industry.
Got it. So most of the people right now, they probably have heard story about the Tippi Hedren being, you know, like the person that had an impact on the first 20. Me personally, I appreciate the fact that Ms. Hedren have chosen to support the first 20. But I want to really give credits to the first 20 themselves. They are what I look at as my leaders, who inspires me. Just the fact that I noticed the fact is this: they all went to beauty college, okay, and graduated and passed the test in English. That to me, that story really inspires me to see that, okay, here's this 20 women that have that didn't know, lost everything pretty much, and came over to this new country and have this opportunity, and they took it and they went with it, and we look back at 40 years later, look what happens. We hear on Vietnam Talk Radio talking about them.
Right.
Yeah.
Anh Kelvin, em cũng biết là anh giống như là rất là big on education, như là anh đang làm một cái nhà giáo dục và giúp đỡ những cái nhà phân phối cũng như những cái nhà buôn bán cho cái sản phẩm nail này. Thì anh có thể cho quý vị biết là cái problem, những cái issue hiện nay ở trong cái ngành nail là cái gì? Có phải là education hay không? Mà là hoặc là những cái vấn đề mà tụi em nói hồi nãy, Tân với em vừa mới bàn luận xong, bàn thảo xong, đó là có nên giới hạn những cái lớp học nail dành cho những người professional hay là những cái người học sinh đi học để trở thành người thợ nail hay không?
Well, in regards to education, like I said before, I think we all agree that education is the key. What the hell is it the key for? It's the key for you to to elevate yourself, to see that like what you don't know out there. Okay, because the mentality of a typical nail tech. And again, not just Vietnamese nail tech, but any nail tech. Okay, it's generally when after they go to they go to the school to get the hours. Okay, just to learn just the basics of passing the test. Okay, that when they come out, they get into a salon, and they began to to learn from other nail techs that's in the salon. So that's where a lot of the issue starts. Because there's the nail techs that in the salon, again, they learned from the nail tech that came before them. So after X amount of years that goes by, just imagine if none of the people in the salon is getting any kind of education, any kind of new education in regards to the new technologies that's out there, the new technique that's out there, then we have this mentality of what I call monkey see, monkey do. Which is, oh, okay, I just got out of school and I'm getting into here now. I got to get in line on the customer list to compete with the other nail techs, and I don't have the experience. So what am I going to do? I'm going to ask the nail techs, in the salon to help me out. But the stories that I hear is that there's not really a support there either from the nail techs that have the experience. So what ends up happening is that this new nail techs, the new nail tech, they just happen to to try to see if they can look at them or and try to copy their techniques. So that kind of education is what have an impact in why I believe the reputation of the Vietnamese nail tech in the industry is not as considered to be high quality or what you call a true nail professional.
Definitely, I agree with you on that. Being a true nail professional, and I speak to Doug Shun, and he's like, the reason he doesn't address a lot of nail professionals because he hasn't seen many that are true nail professionals, knowing the difference between the terminology of us speaking together and speaking on the right terms, and knowing the difference between the hyponychium and the eponychium, for an example, and the cuticle. Just real quick, so that way we know the difference, and most educators don't even know that. So the quality of the education is dropping. We as a community have to raise that bar. We have to raise the standards. If the Vietnamese community is at 80% dominant, will we be dominant within the next 20 years if we don't raise the bar? We set the standards, because you know what, Kelvin, everything will fall back on the Vietnamese community because we will set the standards. We have to set the standards if we are the industry leaders. And speaking on that, so, in your opinion, how can we elevate the industry and how can we unite the community? I spoke about a nail association. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel that if we can unite the community and elevate and raise the bar as well?
Just imagine that, Tan. Can you imagine if we as Vietnamese in the nail community all unite, how powerful we will be? What an impact.
We will be a force to be reckoned with.
Right now, we do have an impact. The impact is that we have this reputation where we are not professional, where we are dirty, where we are not unsanitized, right? Or what is the proper word I'm looking for?
Unsanitary.
Yeah, exactly. We just have a bad reputation, period. And that's one of the the challenge that I as for me as a nail professional, that to deal with that, meaning this, that in general, when you in any kind of environment where you have a large group of people where they dominate certain areas, it's normal to have it that whatever they do, That's what everybody ties into. So I remember, concentrating on to be the best nail technician I can be, and yet when I walk into a show or into an environment where there's not many Vietnamese nail techs, I can just feel that, oh, okay, this guy's Vietnamese. He probably can't do nails, so I can just, having those experiences really inspired me to to take on this mission that I always have, is how can I elevate the reputation of my fellow Vietnamese nail professional to where, when we do something, then it's going to be, like a positive impact. Because right now, again, I hate to say it, but when something goes bad, somebody have a complaint about the nail salon, who you see on TV all the time in the news. Okay,
Vietnamese people.
I love
Vietnamese community.
One time on the news, I'll tell you and stuff,
Right, I would love to be in the news too.
Right? Just imagine.
Bởi vì cái vấn đề đó, dạ, thì bởi vì cái vấn đề đó thì em thấy là bây giờ làm sao để mà đẩy mạnh được cái vấn đề giáo dục đó, thì em nghĩ là tất cả những cái người educator ở trong bất cứ những cái công ty nào cho sản phẩm nào cũng phải trải qua những cái cuộc huấn luyện rất là khắt khe để trở thành cái educator, qualified educator, đúng không anh? Thì anh có cái ý kiến gì về vấn đề đó?
Thì theo anh nghĩ nha, là like if to become an educator, right? I mean, loosely right now, there's the second generation has been coming in. There are so many educators now that than when I first started in. And I'm really so excited, and I'm really happy about that, because for me to be able to step back and to see 20 years ago when I started educating to right now, I love the fact that that there are more Vietnamese coming in to to teach, but at the same time I am a little bit concerned about what is qualified as education. For me personally, I've worked with all the major companies before, okay, and the companies that the big companies that is out there in the industry, they do have an educational program, and it's based on research, on science, and and so therefore, if you learn it and you practice it, then really nobody can say anything, even though they feel that, I swear to God, this is how I've been doing it in the salon for 30 years, and I know I'm right. But you know what? You might not be right, because it's not based on fact. So one of the advantage of going through a well-recognized manufacturer to become an educator, it will benefit, and again, it will help to elevate our reputation, as opposed to potentially it could be the opposite, where we're getting all these educators coming into the industry, but everybody's using the title educator. And so again, I'm hoping that it will not dilute the title, that will actually can have an impact on the industry, right. Meaning that the going through the proper training to become a qualified, certified educator can and will have an impact on the reputation of our Vietnamese community.
Right. Speaking on that, I know there's the industry now. There's like a paradigm shift. There's a shift within the industry now. You've seen it, I've seen it, and I'm pretty sure the industry has seen it. That there is a lot more Vietnamese educator.
Oh yeah.
That has made a comeback now. Now, with that being said, being the most Vietnamese educator that is just now on the market, we're coming out, do we want to devalue the title of an educator versus if you're just going to come out there and you're just going to sell a product, then you become a salesman. You you haven't gone through the proper training as far as getting the certification from a reputable company.
Right.
Then your standards are, should be, we should help elevate that standard. We should set the standards of being an educator. You have to go through this process, and not just be a salesman for a product. Great, granted, there are many educators that are out there that are awesome salesmen that can sell a product, but the reason they sell that product is because they believe in it and they know the chemistry and it's behind science-based facts. If I'm going to say that the product is removal process is 5 minutes, and I'm going to put it on a timer, yes, it's going to come out in 5 minutes. It's based by facts, science-based facts.
Right.
So, with sanitation always being an issue within the Vietnamese community, we need to raise the bar on that. So I want to touch base on that. And single use versus, multi-use. So there's a difference between sanitation and sterilization.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that affecting our industry?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. In regards to, again, with educators, I agree with you. I believe that, there are a lot of educators right now that use the title educator to sell the products, which I understand. It's that's why they use the term educator. So I understand that. But for me, the term educator is a little bit more than that. Just like what you said, Pham. It's about, like learning the products that you are, you are demoing, you are teaching. Okay. So it's very important to get educated and to know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. The sales part, to be honest with you, most Vietnamese out there, we have this, this I think a hidden talent that we can sell. Because we love the fact of being able to relate to people and talk to people. So the sales part of it is a natural and the easiest process. The other part of, like, again, what you know about your product. The educator part of it is I hope and I can only hope that that all the manufacturers, including the small one and the big one, will somehow can support each other, actually, to where there might be a standard of, like, this is the basic level of being an educator. Okay, and then from there, then you can, like, learn about, each different company's, special products and so forth, like that. But I believe that we should have, like, a basic, level of being a certified educator.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you on that. We should definitely have something in that aspect as far as just knowing the health of the nail, and the health, and most important, the health of the nail profession themselves, and also the health of their clients. Then we can move towards the products and being able to sell. And when working with the Vietnamese community, you know what? You just got a bonus. You hired an educator, but guess what? You got a bonus.
True.
You also got a salesman. Okay?
Multitasking.
Right?
You got a bonus.
Just real quick about what you said about multi-use and disposable products out there. Okay, it's interesting. I know right now the disposable product is just hot. Okay. And I know a lot of people are doing very well with it, and I'm happy for them, okay? However, when you really think about it, it might not even, we might not even have disposable if people properly sanitize, and do what they need to do with the multi-use. You understand? Okay? So for me, just a little thought in the back of my head is like, oh, okay, we just happen to find out another way of, like, not having to do what we were required to do, and just to use this product, to use it one time and toss it away. So I'm not saying it's good or bad, but that has some kind of impact on it, that where, okay, we should be doing this, but we're not doing it. So therefore, somebody came out with this product to take care of something that we didn't do. So that's my thought on that.
Vậy thì anh nghĩ là khi mà tất cả những cái tiệm nail salon ở ngoài đó mà chúng ta cứ theo cái protocol mà thay đổi cái buffer một lần, xài một lần quăng bỏ đi, rồi cái file quăng bỏ đi, thì anh nghĩ chúng ta có thể, cộng đồng Việt Nam chúng ta có thể thoát khỏi cái dư luận, cái stereotype là being dirty, được không?
Yeah. Thì anh cũng hy vọng vậy em nha. Em phải nhớ nha, cái thì giống như là anh vừa nói á, là cái buffer nha. Alright. So sao mà cái state board, why would they so hard on on us when they come into the salon in regards to the buffer? Okay, it's because we take one buffer and we use it, like, on 20 clients before we throw it away. That's the fact. So after a while, what happens is that the state board get involved in it, whether through it's like a complaint from the customer, or just keep in mind, guys, the global competitor down the street. Okay, it happens. So once the state board get involved, then they have to make a law, in regards to how to minimize the complaints. So the buffer and a lot of the other products that we use is because at the salon level, we either try to save money or and I understand it's our mentality. It's like, we don't want to waste anything. But at the same time, when you have a group of people that that does that do not sanitize or do not throw away the buffer after X amount of use, then we're gonna get issues where state boards can come in and fine us.
Yeah, tại vì em á thì em cũng là một cái người giáo viên ở tiểu bang Minnesota, thì em chuyên dạy về cái lớp 4-hour continuing education về health safety sanitation. Em biết rất là rõ hầu hết tất cả mọi tiểu bang, mọi 50 tiểu bang đều là one time use, mình không thể disinfectant hay reuse cái bolus item giống như là buffer hay là file. Ngoại trừ cái file mình dùng á là metal thì mình có thể mình disinfect hoặc là mình cleanse rồi xong rồi mình sterilize, chứ mà còn với đa số những tiệm nail ở ngoài á sử dụng buffer lại rất là nhiều lần, nó rất là rẻ cũng phải không, thì mình có cái lý do để mình trả khách hàng cao hơn. Mình sử dụng mình xài qua một lần mấy sen, em nghĩ không là đáng bao nhiêu. Quan trọng là cái vấn đề là vừa giữ cho nó sạch sẽ mà vừa kiếm được tiền, thì em thấy cái vấn đề đó là rất là hợp lý.
And it also helped to elevate the reputation too. Every little things that we do out there, folks.
I totally agree. Yeah, the reason the buffer issue, just touch base, let's just state this fact out there that porous items cannot be disinfected. Okay, so once it's done, please just chunk it. Okay, yeah. So now I want to ask this question, and I believe it's a very important question, is how can we unite the community as a whole? We have to create unity, and our whole purpose here at Untitled Chapter is to bridge the gap. We want to be able to bridge the gap between different cultures and different races and ethnics. In your opinion and from your perspective, how can we unite the community if we are the industry leader? The Vietnamese community, if we are the industry leader, we should be uniting the community. And how, from your perspective, how?
Man, I think that's the big question, Pham. You know what I mean?
$1 million question.
That's been question that's on my mind for the last, 25 years that I've been in the industry.
Right.
And again, I believe that it's going to take time, and it's going to take small steps. I love to be able to snap my finger and say, hey, you know what? Let's all unite. Okay, but the fact is that we are not. But just imagine. Just imagine that if we were able to be united. How powerful that we would be as a group. Okay, but getting back to how are we able to reunite? How are we able to unite? Well, there's a lot of different ways. One of them, of course, is having a Vietnamese Nail Association, which there has been several attempts, actually 2 that I know of, that was that a group of people got together and wanted to start a Vietnamese nail association. But from what I know, just that group alone, within themselves, was not able to even unite. So could you just imagine our leader is not, if they are not able to unite, how the hell are we going to unite as a whole?
Dạ, em có một cái câu hỏi này cũng đang tới cái đó là lý do tại sao mà rất là khó khăn để mà đoàn kết cái cộng đồng người Việt lại với nhau. Em biết cái câu hỏi này nó rất là nhạy cảm, nhưng mà em muốn hỏi anh bởi vì anh là người đi trước, nó cũng có liên quan tới cái câu hỏi của anh Tân vừa mới hỏi anh, thì sẵn đây em muốn biết ý kiến của anh luôn.
Thì theo anh nghĩ là giống như là just think about the first 20 that we talk about, okay? Just imagine what they had to do, to get past that class, to pass that test in English, I'm pretty sure they were united then, right? So
definitely,
let's just borrow that spirit and and apply it to where we are now. And with the second generation coming in and I love to see like young up and coming Vietnamese nail professional coming into the industry, okay? But we can really learn, you know, from the people that actually spark this opportunity for us. So I would recommend, you know, for us to, you know, like to maybe get to know them, to learn about them, and, you know, to see what is it that inspired them. Because from what I know from my interview with, you know, with you know, the first 20 was that they would be the vision, okay, of what I would look at as a professional Vietnamese nail tech, okay, which is so different than, you know, where we at right now. And I understand the whole growth and everything of through the last 40 years has really had an impact. But we started off, by the way, as something really good with the first 20. And it evolved into now where we dominate the market and we have a reputation, which I understand, like I said before, when you have a large group get together and one person does something wrong, it affects the whole thing. Okay? But as you know, we are not all the same. We are not all the same. So I just hope that, you know, the younger generation that coming in like yourself, okay, like the two of you, okay, that take on what, you know, that we've been building on in the past, and, you know, and to impact and to inspire and to, like, you know, to teach the younger you know, nail tech that coming in. And I do see the changes, but it's going to take time, guys. And it's going to require more leaders in the industry to step up and to, you know, and voice, okay? All right? So I acknowledge you, and I acknowledge Jade for, you know, for creating or for having this, you know, this talk radio, okay, to have an impact. Every little things like that, guys. Every little thing that we can do. So, you know, my advice for the young Vietnamese educator that's coming in is, you ask yourself, what little things can you do, you know, to help to elevate not only your reputation, but the reputation of the community as a whole. And when you do that, you automatically will elevate yourself.
Right. Raise and elevate the community. Theodore Roosevelt, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. So me, I've taken down that road. Ask not what the nail community, the Vietnamese nail community, or the industry itself. Don't ask them what can you offer me or what you've done for me. Ask yourself, what can you do to help elevate the industry? What can you do to help raise the bar? As educator level or at nail professional level, we need to be able to raise that bar. I try myself. I have flaws. We all have flaws. But I know my goal and I know my passion. Like I said, I was born to do nails. And I believe we are. That the nail industry has just been God-given to the Vietnamese nail community. God just said, you know what, you left your country and you put back aside communism. You went to a new land. Maybe God promised this new land and promised this new industry for the Vietnamese community. And the first 20, yes, that's hindsight. And it hurts to listen when you said, you know, they started good education, and then here they are standing back watching us tear down what they built. That vision has been lost for them. We as a community, we must be able to build that vision back, and it starts with us, me, Jade, Vietnam Talk Radio and its viewers, and the leaders of our community. We are the next generation. We need to make this happen. Within the 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later, will the Vietnamese community continue to dominate?
You know what? I believe that we have a very, very good opportunity to, you know, to still dominate the industry. But as you know, it's a very lucrative, you know, industry. So there's so many other group that is, you know, that is jumping into the industry, which is all good. I think there's enough hands and feet for everybody to do. Okay, all right. But, you know, but in regards to like the, you know, the Vietnamese, as you know, the first generation, okay, of the Vietnamese nail techs, they still holding on to their salons. Some of them have, you know, updated and evolved, and they've been very successful. Then you have, like, you know, the second generation that is coming out, that's building, like, you know, $1 million, salons and so forth. And I'm happy to see all of that, but it still come down to this one thing. It's called education. how do you educate yourself to where now you have this beautiful, $1 million salon, but when you walk in, and it's the same old thing that's happening in a mom and pop salon, So again, to answer your question about what is going to be required for us to to still dominate and to still be in the nail industry for the next 5 to 10 years and to help elevate it in the reputation, it's one word, it's called education. And it's education that is being, taught by educators with, that know that know not only their products, but know the science behind what they are educating.
Vậy thì theo ý kiến của anh á, thì cộng đồng Việt Nam mình á nên đoàn kết lại với nhau, đừng có phá giá nữa đúng không anh? Rồi dẹp bỏ những cái illegal tool chẳng hạn như là dao cạo chân, xài rồi xài lại buffer với file đúng không anh?
Đúng rồi. You know what, Jade? You brought us something interesting. I'm here right now in Saigon, right, Ho Chi Minh City, and as I'm driving down the street. And I think that anybody that's been to Vietnam or they would understand this. When you're driving down the street, you see the houses on both sides. Am I correct? And okay, so let's just say, for example, me, Tan, and you, okay, Jade, we all next to each other, live right next to each other. I'm selling stuffed bear animals. Tan is selling stuffed animal. You selling stuffed animal. So I can understand now where that competitive, mentality come from. Okay, one day if we all working good, we all get along. We all selling our stuffed animal at $10. The next week, Tan was pissed off at me or something because he looked over and he saw I have selling more than he does. Okay, so I'm better looking or something like that. I have no idea. All right, so he dropped his stuffed animal down to $9. Okay, so now Miss Jade, you were doing fine and stuff until Mr. Tan dropped it to $9. So next thing you know, it's like I'm gonna drop mine down to $8. So then I turned around a month later. I said, oh hell no. I'm gonna drop it down to $7. So I believe, and I don't have no facts, no proof, or nothing on it, but just being, trying to use my common sense, I can see that how us as Vietnamese, we have that kind of mentality of like competing with each other, okay? And so I can only hope that that the salon owners, okay, that is in the United States, kind of look at it and say, hey, you know what? Yes, there are a lot of nail salons in my area, but what else can I do instead of like reducing the price? Maybe I start thinking like, focusing on the service. I just want to provide better service. I just want to start speaking English in my salon to my clients and stuff. Just a little things like that.
There's always going to be a language barrier, and I understand there's always going to be a language barrier, and the problem, I wouldn't say it's a problem because the problem has to be eliminated. I said the issue with most salons is that we're Vietnamese community. We know value. Right, Jade?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll let Jade
mặc quần gì, quần ông địa đúng không? Yes, mặc áo xịn, Abercrombie rất là mắc tiền, không bao giờ mua on sale. Nhưng tại sao mình không áp dụng the same concept cho cái giá cả làm nail của mình, đúng không anh? Em thấy
the same mentality. Giống em nói, the same mentality that we know value. Hey, I like mang đôi giày Gucci. I like Louis Vuitton purse. I like
Chanel and
Chanel.
Everything.
Right. So as a community, we know value. Now we know value in buying goods. Now let's switch that. Instead of buying that value, why not offer value? Why not offer?
Right, that's right.
That you do every single day. You're in and out working 10 to 12 hours a day. Why not add value to yourself? I mean, I cannot speak for everyone. I know, and I've talked to Kelvin, know your self-value. So in order for knowing self-value, we have to have, the key is we have to educate ourselves. And education comes from the Latin word induco, means to induce. So we have to find our sources. The sources that you learn your information from is important as well, because if you're getting monkey see, monkey do, that is definitely not educating yourself.
That's what Kelvin just said.
So just real fast. If you bring value to your business, then you can increase your price so easy, right? It's so simple.
Right.
So
increase your value, and then you increase your amount, your whoever, whatever you want to pay, charge for. Increase your price. Okay.
Yes, you go to a class, you come back, you get a certification, you raise your prices. You go to a competition, you win a trophy, you come back, you raise your prices. That's adding value. Hey, why are you raising the prices? This is why. Jade has spent time, em bỏ một thời gian em đi học, and share that with the viewers and let them know how your perspective, em.
Yeah, thì trong vòng 2 năm vừa qua là em đã bỏ rất là nhiều tiền, thời gian. Thay vì cái thời gian mà em đi học ở đây ở Houston thì một tuần lễ là mất biết bao nhiêu tiền, cũng mấy ngàn của em. Nhưng mà thay vào đó em sẽ biết được em học rất là nhiều, và cái kiến thức mà em học được ngày hôm nay á, trong cái tuần lễ này á, sẽ make cho em cả 100.000 khác nữa. Cho nên em không có ngại gì cái vấn đề đó để mà đi học thêm, để bổ sung kiến thức, để mà học hỏi, nâng cao tay nghề, để đem lại, để bring cái value, more value to your business.
So yeah, the cost of Amy's classes. I mean, when you share a little bit of that, what you've gained and you what you've lost from not working this week, but imagine the amount that you've gained in taking these continuing education classes. So, and Kelvin, again, I know we're running a little bit behind on your time. I apologize. There were some technical difficulties.
Man.
We're rubber band time. Rubber band time. I apologize for that. So I want to ask you one last question, and it's like, if there was this one tip that you would give out to the nail professional, what would that be? Just this one key tip. Since you've been in the industry so long, em xin anh share một cái đó, and then I would like to hear your idea on it, your tips for the pros.
Man, one tip, huh?
One tip, brother, because I know time is of essence right now for you.
You got a whole list right now.
No, I just, what I mean, I think we, throughout this interview, we brought up a lot of great tips, and the only thing I can honestly just round it off with,
advice.
Again, with just one word: education is key. Period.
Thank you, Wen.
Chúng em cũng muốn anh trở lại. Yeah, trong đợt sau anh có muốn làm khách mời, anh có thể làm khách mời cho tụi em một lần nữa được không?
Call me.
Dạ, để mà chia sẻ thêm, tại em biết thời gian cũng có hạn, em biết là chúng em cũng muốn học hỏi thêm nhiều điều từ anh, cho nên là lần sau nữa mình có dịp để nói thêm, đúng không anh?
Okay, if you're gonna call me out like that, of course I would support you guys.
I would love for you to come back on the show.
Hey, speaking of calling out, okay, speaking of calling out, I would like to call out, because I got called out last week from Adele. Okay? All right, Adele, Miss Adele, you called me out, and I thought it was like, hilarious. I thought it was great, So I would like to call out my brother, two brothers actually. One is Mr. Tong Vu, okay, who's my brother,
yes.
Mr. Slack Man himself. If you guys don't know who he is, I believe that you guys should get to know him. Because he is what I consider to be a leader in the industry, that is trying to hire out my brother, okay? But I like to call my brother Tong Vu out, and also there is this other person who I really admire, and that is Pham, okay, who is actually an activist for the Vietnamese community in regards to state board regulations. Okay, so if you want to learn more about like why are you getting fines, and because there are certain things that that when the state boards come in and they fine you, I know there are salon owners out there, that nail techs out there, you guys are pissed off at the fact that, are you serious? You fining me for that? So learn about why you're getting fined for. So I would highly recommend Viet Talk Radio to to invite Mr. Tong Vu and Mr. Pham, to interview them, so we can get educated, right?
And I want to thank you so much for, what? As a matter of fact, Adele, if you're watching this, Adele, I want to thank you first and foremost for starting this call out. I say call out on Viet NTR. I love the idea. I love that Adele came on and called you out, and I love the idea that you came on and called Tong Vu out. I think this should be a trend on Nail Talk Radio, is for each guest to call each of their friends or they feel like will make a major impact. So definitely, Vietnam Talk Radio, and Tom and I, we work together now. Yay! So I would touch base.
Let's unite.
Yes, unite. So I would touch base with Anh Tom, Vu, and see how he feels, and then I'll touch base with you to try to get Anh Phước them onto our show. So again, I want to thank you so much here at Vietnam Talk Radio for your carving time out. I know you're very busy in Ho Chi Minh, and I apologize for taking so much time. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon, brother.
Come on, Kelvin. Gặp lại anh sau.
It's been a pleasure. Love you guys, okay? Love you, bro. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
Okay.
Have a good night, guys. I'm getting ready. My day start right now. I'll be thinking about you in Hanoi today. I mean, it's in Saigon.
So wait, guys. Wait. We have a very special guest. Please, guys, stay tuned and do not get off because we have a best guest. What's here? Amy
Surprise!
Baker, guys. Amy Baker. Hello, everyone. Hello, team.
Amy Baker.
Amy, come
on. Amy say hey.
Hi.
So Amy is in class. Amy is in Houston teaching her class, and I missed it because obviously I've been working, didn't know my dates. Amy, I apologize for not being able to attend your class. Hey, Geneva in the background. Hey, team in the back. So how's it like in Houston?
Gina's back there. Yes.
Hey,
and Kyra is leaving the room.
So Amy, how's being in Texas? How's being in Texas so far?
Warm.
I know you've been here before. Warm.
Warm.
So the class. So tell us, Vietnam Talk Radio and our viewers, education is always important. Please share a little bit about your classes and upcoming classes and where it be based, so our viewers can have an opportunity to attend your class as well.
Sure. This week we have a 5-day. You can get back in here. We have a 5-day. She's so pretty. We're in the middle of a 5-day training course, which is called Mastering Your Career in Gels, and we're teaching every aspect of gel that I know, so that nail techs can not only be proficient in gels, so that they can reduce their time. They know the latest in the techniques, so they're not following industry trends, so that they can lead in the industry trends from taking our classes. So yeah, it's always been extremely important. And tomorrow we're going to work on after doing all of the foundational classes the first 2 days. Today we worked on all of our art techniques, and you know what? We're going to keep working on it afterwards. Yes,
right,
we're going to be up pretty late.
All night. All night tonight.
Oh, on the first day. Did you want to know what we did on the first day?
Yeah. Sure. I wish I was there. I want to be in that room.
So,
I want to be in that room.
Yeah, you're missing it. Okay, what did we do the first day? Oh yeah, okay. The first day we did all the foundational. So we showed 2 of our trademarked gel application techniques, and then we worked on how to extend the gel nail with those techniques. Then we worked on our filing techniques, because at the very end we're going to have a photo shoot, and everybody needs to know how to really file and shape a nail so it can be photographed and not look bulky and big. So it can't be a salon style nail. So yeah, we needed to do competition style nails. And then yesterday we worked on various different types of advanced nail shapes, like an edge, a Russian almond, an almond, a stiletto, our very own maestro shape. We did the ballerina. So we really got into detail with those different shapes so that everybody could work on it. And a couple of the girls stayed up till midnight sculpting a set of nails on 2 of the other girls. So it was hard to wake up this morning, but we got to it. And today we worked on glitter theory, and then 3D gel painting designs. We just finished working on encasement and designs, and then we're working on our baby boomer gel designs. Tomorrow we're going to take a field trip, and so I can kind of give them my eye or my perspective on what I look for when I'm doing nails for a photo shoot, right down to how to choose subject matter, how to look at things differently, so you can get really creative and come up with ideas that you've never seen in print or with nails, or so that they can come up with new nail designs rather than try to follow the nail designs in nail art. Oh, Kyra's sticking her hand in right now.
And some of the shapes that
some of the shapes that we were working on, some of the nail art that we were working on, encasement. Too bad you didn't still have the other one. Gina's gonna sneak in her nail here. You got to get closer. Okay.
Competition style, perfect.
Yeah. So, and this nail Gina did. This is so the text taking.
I didn't mean it like that, but
Don't show them your middle nail again. So the text taking class really did a great job yesterday, and now it's really going to show because tomorrow we're also we're going to work on our design work that we're going to do our photo shoot for, so that they know how to prepare nails if they want to, let's say, do a cover shoot for Nail Pro or Nail Magazine. They'll be able to submit it, and Nails Magazine or Nail Pro Magazine will see it and know, oh, they know how to do cover quality nails. And cover quality nails are very similar to competition style nails, and a lot of the nail techs really want to learn how to compete. That was my classroom. I'm a licensed cosmetologist without a nail course. So mine has been through trial and error and through the competition arena. So then on Friday, our last day, we're going to actually have a photo shoot, so I can show them lighting techniques and angles and backdrop and what to look for when they're photographing their art, their brand new art that they've come out with. So we might see some trends coming out of this class.
That sounds very. That's a very in-depth class, and I see a lot of value. I see a lot of value in your class. I see a lot of passion in the background. I see a lot of passion. Nail professionals there, so that's gonna be. And I like that it's close knit. So when is your next class? I want to be able to share with everybody. When are you having something up and coming? Your next class? I know you're gonna be in the Best Little Nail Show next year, so we're excited to see that. Anything in the near future that you want to blast out there for our viewers to? Because I know there's a lot of people that want to take classes, but they don't know where. They don't know where and how.
Well, we will be at the Northwest Nail Tech Retreat in October, and I'll be teaching a number of classes at that Nail Tech Retreat. A few of them are included with the price of registration, and then a couple of them are paid classes. But when we have classes at those, the fees tend to be a little bit more reduced. However, we don't have any training events on our calendar for to just go and train like we're doing here. When we were at the Best Little Nail Show in Texas earlier, when was it, in May?
April.
April.
At the end of April.
In April, a number of the girls expressed interest in a class. And I said, if we can get 10 people together, I can come down and teach the class. So instantly they got together, more than 10 people, and we set a date for me to come down, and that's how we got here. So if people can do that, if you'd like a class, an advanced gel training course, and when I say advanced, I don't mean that you have to be advanced to teach it, but we're going to teach advanced techniques that aren't even being shown yet in our industry. If you want a class like that, contact us, and my email address is amy@masterworksgel.com. and request a class. And if you're able to help us put together a class, we have a special gift for you. So there is that option. We will be posting next year's training courses within the next month, so you can see what we have coming up on the calendar for classes. And
don't forget NTR at Sea.
Oh yeah, we'll be teaching there. So you gotta go to that one. If you can all go to that one, go to that one. That's
so that's NTR at Sea it's coming up, guys, and cabins are filling up really fast. So I want to make sure everybody go to ntratsea.com and make sure you guys sign up, because it's Amy Becker's gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of top educators there, and education is a lot of value. I see a lot of value. I missed out because I don't have my date schedule for your class, and I wish Geneva would have shot me something, but she didn't want to there. So I'll call Geneva out on that one. But Amy, thank you so much for answering your questions that we have here, and just sharing a little bit of your knowledge in the class. It's amazing. So thank you so much for your time, and thank everyone here. Twa, you have any last closing comments for our viewers?
Yeah, sure, of course. I just want to let everyone know that the cost of the class might be expensive, and like me, I skip a whole week of work at my hometown. But whatever I've learned, the knowledge, the education that I got this week, is gonna give me 10 times more than what I was supposed to make in the hometown. So I just want to send a message that education is very important. Continue to educate yourself, and then you can make 10 times more than what you are making right now.
And part of being able to make more money is one of the main things we stress is reducing the amount of time it takes to apply your gels.
Yes.
With even one class with Masterworks, a lot of times we can cut 15 minutes easily off of your time, and your time is money. So you can either you can normally get at least 2 more clients a day after taking one of our courses.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So
a set of people.
All right, guys. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and you guys, the links are in a comment box below on Amy's class and upcoming. She definitely is going to be at MTRC. So that's one of her classes. She's definitely going to be at Best Latest Nail Show, Texas. I think you guys should take her class. I'm going to have to set aside time and carve out and take Amy's class as well. So that's but no, someone didn't share. So thank you.
Geneva.
The class sold out in 36 hours. It was faster than I could have imagined.
I'm a hometown favorite. I'm a hometown favorite.
You should have known about it first.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Next time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, our viewers, for tuning in tonight. And I always want to leave our viewers with 3 words: is to always educate, elevate, and please remember to give back.
Right.
Bye.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người.
Bye.